NDA presidential candidate Draupadi Murmu files nomination papers with Prime Minister Modi, union ministers and BJP chief ministers by her side. Political crisis continues to deepen in Maharashtra. Shiv Sena rebel Shinde and his supporters are still in Guwahati. Flood scenario somewhat better in Brahmaputra Valley, while in Barak it still remains critical. Mizoram police rescue person stranded in flood-ravaged Silchar town in Assam. And Meghalaya government asks district councils to immediately close all toll gates. A very good evening, viewers. Welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin. This is Anupa bringing to you the stories in details. In national news first, NDA's presidential candidate Draupadi Murmu today filed her nomination at Parliament House complex. Ms. Murmu filed 4 sets of nomination papers. In the first set, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah are the proposers. In the second, BJP President JP Nadda and Chief Minister of BJP-ruled states are the proposers. Ms. Murmu arrived in New Delhi on Thursday. She met Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, Home Minister Amit Shah, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and other top leaders of the ruling party in New Delhi. Prime Minister Modi has said Ms. Murmu's presidential nomination has been appreciated across India by all sections of the society. Opposition candidate Yashwant Sinha will file his nomination on the 27th of this month. The last date of filing nomination is the 29th of June. The polls, if necessary, will be held on 18 July and the counting of votes will be taken up on 21st July. In more national news, amidst the deepening political crisis in Maharashtra, a crucial meeting of senior leaders of Shiv Sena and NCP was held at YB Chavan Centre in Mumbai this morning. Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut and Home Minister Dilip Walse Patel attended the meeting. Speaking to reporters, Sanjay Raut expressed confidence of winning the political battle in Maharashtra, either in the floor test or on road. Meanwhile, Deputy Speaker of Legislative Assembly Narhari Jerwal has approved the appointment of Ajay Chaudhary as the group leader of Shiv Sena and Sunil Prabhu as the chief whip of the party. Eknath Shinde has termed it illegal and said they will approach High Court to challenge this decision. In Assam, the rebel Shiv Sena MLAs with Eknath Shinde are holding meetings in Guwahati. The Shinde camp has claimed to have support of at least 48 legislatures, including some independent MLAs. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be virtually attending a high-level dialogue on global development today on the sidelines of the 14 BRICS summit hosted by China. The Beijing declaration issued on Thursday after the summit said member countries welcome the high-level dialogue on global development as a testimony to the open and inclusive nature of BRICS partnership, including its outreach and cooperation with other emerging economies. They said they are hopeful of the dialogue will inject a new impetus to international cooperation and solidarity on implementing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Leaders of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa discussed the status of diverse political, economic, cultural and humanitarian cooperation during the summit. Moving on, the registration process for recruitment of the first batch of Agniveers under newly launched Agnipath scheme in Indian Air Force got underway today. Interested candidates have been asked to apply for the recruitment online on the official website at agnipathvayu.cdac.in. As per the notification released by IAF, there is no change in the process of induction, entry-level qualification and examination syllabus. All enrollments in Air Force will take place only through Agniveer Vayu. Online exams will be conducted at 250 centres across the country from 24th July to 31st July. The recruitment process will be completed by the end of this year. Army and Navy will start the registration process from the 1st of next month. Moving on to northeast now, in Assam, flood situation has improved in the districts of Brahmaputra Valley due to good weather conditions. However, the situation still remains critical in the Barak Valley. Rescue operations are underway in the Barak Valley by various agencies. Essential food items are being airdropped by the Air Force. Nearly 2.85 lakh people are staying in relief camps across the state. Overall, 45 lakh people have been affected in 30 districts during the last 24 hours. 7 persons died in the period. Flood waters have caused massive damages to the infrastructures. The SDMA has started a helpline number 14410 for psychosocial support to the flood and landslide affected people. As relief camps have been set up in many schools, summer holidays of educational institutes in the state will start 1 week earlier, that is from 25th June to 25th July. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the centre is continuously monitoring the flood situation in Assam and is working closely with the state government to provide all possible assistance. In a series of tweets, Modi said Army and NDRF teams are present in the flood-affected areas. They are conducting evacuation operations and assisting those who are affected. The Air Force has conducted over 250 sorties as part of the evacuation process. Modi said Assam Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, other ministers and officials are working round the clock in the districts and helping those who have suffered. He prayed for the safety and well-being of all those in affected areas. The Mizoram government immediately sent a rescue team of state police personnel to Silchar on learning that some students and other persons from the state were stranded in Silchar in Assam's Kachar district due to heavy floods. The rescue team took 2 boats with 27 life jackets from Kolasib district and reached Mission Compound, Silchar on Thursday evening. The team, in coordination with volunteers of the Young Mizo Association branch in Silchar, started their rescue operation and safely shifted 33 persons to Synod Mission Compound, Silchar.
Non kala chuan tui thiang min turan on pe an semmani la tang hian motor ring toi phele ang compound lama.
India has dispatched 27 tons of emergency relief assistance in 2 flights for the people of Afghanistan in the wake of recent tragic earthquake. The relief assistance consists of essential items including family-rich tents, sleeping bags, blankets and sleeping mats. The relief consignment will be handed over to the United Nations Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs and Afghan Red Crescent Society in Kabul. The External Affairs Ministry said that, as always, India stands in solidarity with the people of Afghanistan, with whom it shares centuries-old ties, and remains firmly committed to provide immediate relief assistance for the Afghan people. In Meghalaya, the state government has once again directed the KHADC and the JHADC to immediately close down all the toll gates operated by the 2 councils in the national highways, state highways and state roads. The decision was taken during a meeting held at the State Secretariat between Chief Minister Conrad Sangma, the Minister in charge of District Council Affairs and members of KHADC and JHADC. After the meeting, Home Minister and also Ministers in charge DCA, Lakshman Rimbui, said that the state government has made it clear to the 2 autonomous district council to close down all the toll gates, which includes gates erected by CMs and others. Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Thakur inaugurated a 2-day national conference of ministers of sports of states and union territories at Statue of Unity in Kevadia, Gujarat this morning. The conference aims to deliberate and discuss the way forward for a unified approach to strengthen sports in India. Ministers of Sports and Youth Affairs from various states and union territories are participating in the meet. Representatives of various states will also make representations on Khelo India scheme during the conference. Earlier, talking to media persons at Ahmedabad airport on Thursday evening, Thakur said sports person will get better facilities if the centre, state government, state association, NGOs and corporates come together.
People's participation हो, जिससे people movement बने और sports culture उसके माध्यम से तैयार हो. जन भागीदारी से ही जन आंदोलन बन सकता है और खेलों का वातावरण खड़ा करने के लिए पीपल्स पार्टिसिपेशन बहुत आवश्यक है. ये एकता नगर में इसका आयोजन इसलिए भी किया गया कि एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत, इसकी कल्पना ही सरदार पटेल ने की थी और खेलों में एकता सबसे बड़ी बात है. कोई भी खिलाड़ी जब भी किसी टीम का हिस्सा बनता है, कोई ये नहीं देखता है किस जाति धर्म किस समुदाय से आता है. वो केवल एक भारतीय के नाते उस टीम को रिप्रेजेंट करता है. कोई ये नहीं देखता है किस राज्य से आया है, किस क्षेत्र से आया है. वो केवल देश के खिलाड़ी के रूप में भाग लेता है.
In Mizoram, Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Minister Dr. K. Chua has said compensation for victims of African swine fever is currently under consideration and is almost ready for disbursement. Speaking at the inaugural function of Pig Fed Annual General Meeting in Aizawl, the minister said it is a tragedy for many pig farmers who have lost their livestock due to the recent outbreak of the deadly African swine fever. He said the government is taking all possible measures to help the pig farmers. In Meghalaya, the National Health Mission on Thursday organized a state-level media workshop on tuberculosis elimination in Shillong. The workshop aimed at improving outreach on the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program to the masses and communities through media support. Speaking on the occasion, Ram Kumar, Mission Director NHM, said that unlike COVID-19, TB was never given the due attention as it looks more or less like a poor man's disease.
Which we gave for COVID, we are not able to give the continued media attention or all the attention required for TB patients, unfortunately. Now, why is that? COVID, irrespective of whether you came from much rich background.
Still in Meghalaya, Secretary Shnong of Amjok, Rajesh Lapang, has informed that rising number of robberies in the area is a cause of concern. There are many banks in the area. Amjok Rajesh has urged more police deployment in Amjok in Barnihat. A recent failed attempt at daylight robbery in Barnihat is another concern, he said. For more updates, viewers can also watch our bulletins and other programs on our YouTube channel, DD News Guwahati. To end the news, main points once again. NDA presidential candidate Draupadi Murmu files nomination papers with Prime Minister Modi. Union ministers and BJP chief ministers by her side. Political crisis continues to deepen in Maharashtra. Shiv Sena rebel Shinde and his supporters are still in Guwahati. Flood scenario somewhat better in Brahmaputra Valley, while in Barak it still remains critical. Mizoram police rescue person stranded in flood-ravaged Silchar town in Assam. And Meghalaya government asks district councils to immediately close all toll gates. That brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.